I got to kick this thing off. Can I kick it off? 1, 2, 3, 4. Ladies and gentlemen, listen.
Hi, I'm Marika Moore, and if you want to get all up in my business, you should check out my new book, Unsolicited Marriage Advice, where I provide an analysis of the best marriage advice that I've received over the past 16 years or so. So head on over to Amazon and buy it now.
Conversate with Us Radio presents the Man Listen Show. We are the blackest radio show on the internet. We bring you our opinion on topics that affect the black community in an effort to enlighten, enrich, and empower every brother and sister that falls under the sound of our voice. We operate on a no-hating frequency, so be prepared for us to keep it 100% real and 100% black all the time. Please follow the show on Facebook and Instagram at Man Listen Show. Go to the link in our bio. You can purchase our books, purchase our merchandise, and make sure you just tell everybody about the show. Blackest radio show on the internet, the Man Listen Show. I'm your host, Marv B. Let's bring the crew in. Shout out to C. So, hey, man, I want to get y'all opinion on this. LeBron James, King James, him and Stephen A. have been going at it in the media. So it started off, Stephen A. made some commentary about Bronny, LeBron James Jr., and apparently in LeBron James' mind and some of the other players, Stephen A. went too far in his commentary and he made it personal. So at a Knicks versus Lakers game, during the middle of the game, LeBron confronted Stephen A. Basically said, hey, man, paraphrasing, keep my son name out your mouth. So Stephen A. came back on his show and he was like, hey, man, I understand LeBron was talking to me as a father. I think he handled it professionally, his response to LeBron confronting him at the game. But somehow, some way, I think Stephen A. did like some follow-up interviews and he gave his opinion and talked about how he thought it was weak. And recently, LeBron James went on Pat McAfee's show and was talking real greasy about Stephen A. And then posted on his Instagram the video of Stephen A. boxing, looking all crazy. And it was actually a funny post. So in response, Stephen A. talked about him, big time on his show. Spoke inaccurately about some things. He tried to call him out about not attending Kobe's funeral, not going to D-Wade's Hall of Fame induction, which I don't really know what that had to do with anything. But these two brothers are going at it. And I say brothers in quotations because, Stephen A., we'll get into that. But they're going at it in the media. And while I understand where both of them are coming from, I side with LeBron, but I still hate to see it. And I'll explain why, but I want to get y'all's opinion first.
Oh man, I'm like you. I really hate to see it. Not a huge Stephen A. fan, but I really don't. Maybe I don't recall everything he said. I didn't think it was anything personal that he was saying about LeBron, in my opinion.
Well, I think what pissed LeBron off was they were talking about Bronny's ability to be in the league.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Stephen A. say, LeBron, stop this. I appeal to you as a father to not do this. And I think that's the line he crossed for most people because, okay, you want to talk about his stats, you want to talk about his ability to play, that's one thing. But when you coming at me as a father, that's the line that's being crossed.
And that's what I say. I don't feel that way about that particular quote. There's a particular reason I don't, but it's kind of drawn out. But
say it, man. We got time.
Okay. Well, I think that LeBron has proven to be very calculated, and he does a lot of stuff. And it can come across as self-serving and arrogant. And the whole thing with wanting to play with his son, to me, was about LeBron. It wasn't about Bronny, never was. It was about LeBron wanting to do something. And so realize that, I'm not going to criticize the way anyone fathers their kids or parents their kids. That's how they do, unless it's something really egregious, obviously. Stuff like this is all a matter of opinion and taste. When you make decisions, you can be the best father in the world, but sometimes you make decisions and not knowing in hindsight, you might not have made that same decision because you're not aware of collateral damage that it could cause your family, your friends, and other people like that. So, he's already said it before, he, speaking of Bron, he wished he never named him LeBron James Jr. because that really brought expectations and an unfair burden on him. And so, I can't say he was wrong for taking exception. I just don't think it was that big of a deal.
I mean, I think the problem is that we all really kind of deep down hate Stephen A. Smith. So we automatically assume he's saying and doing stuff just to be, confrontational or just, just to start some shit, because that's what he does. He starts shit. So I think that, like most people, it's like, well, if he did something to piss off LeBron, then he was probably wrong. But once you get into the spotlight, you got to take everything that comes with that. Everything that they post about you is not going to be great. Everything people say about you is not going to be great. And if he's old enough to be in the NBA, he's old enough to have people comment on whether or not he should be in the NBA. So, I mean, as much as I'm for LeBron sticking up for his kid if he felt like he crossed the line, I'm also for journalists being able to say whatever they want to say when they're commenting on, their area of journalism or whatever. So, I don't think it's anything wrong with what he said necessarily, but I also think that maybe sometimes what I try to do now is like, okay, so why exactly did that piss me off? And then like try to figure out what it was about what he said that triggered that reaction. Because really, the problem that LeBron probably has with what he said is that he's been wondering whether or not Bronny should be in the NBA himself. And if he would have made those choices on his own without his father pushing him. So he's probably just reacting to his own triggers and is not really mad about, he just probably really don't like Stephen A anyway. So anything he say is gonna make him mad. So I mean, like I said, six in one hand, half a dozen in the other. If LeBron put the pause on Stephen A, I'd surely watch. But obviously we don't want to see black people fighting in the media, but I'd definitely give it at least one play. So I mean,
Yeah, I'll put it out here. I am a huge LeBron James fan. Just like Shannon Sharp, I call him GOAT James. I think he's the greatest of all time. I know people, debate that, but in my personal opinion, that we haven't seen a better basketball player than LeBron James. Um, I side with LeBron in one instance, in that don't talk in a personal matter about my child or my relationship to my child or how I parent. And I think that comment that he made in terms of like, I appeal to you as a father to stop this, that's where it crossed the line, in my opinion. I know, Lab, you say you disagree, but for me, that's when you're coming at my parenting. Now, if you talk about, hey, man, this young man's not prepared, he can't shoot a jump shot, he can't guard full court, he can't do all that stuff. If you do all that, and if LeBron James has a problem with that, then LeBron is 100% wrong. But when you are taking it to where you are judging my parenting, then you got every right to be confronted about that. And Arika said, journalists doing their job. I'm under the belief, and this goes back to how we used to argue about Chris Rock. And people say, well, comedians tell jokes, and they should be able to tell jokes. And y'all know that I've always said, hey, yeah, you can tell your jokes, and yeah, there's some creative license that comes with being a comedian. But guess what? Not everybody's going to take it the way that you want to take it, and they give you a pass because you're just a comedian, and you might get the shit slapped out of you. And the same thing applies to a journalist. I said it on my Facebook page.
LeBron.
I would confront Mike Tyson, Bruce Lee, Show Enough, whoever about one of my kids if I felt that they were disrespecting me. Now I might lose, but that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
The problem is I hate to see these two black men going at it in the public. And I gotta be fair. I called out LeBron for his missteps. I didn't like when he went against Kyrie when everybody was going against him, when they were trying to call Kyrie anti-Semitic. I don't think LeBron needed to say anything. He was pressured into doing that, and he could have just kept quiet, like me and C always say. Shout out to C. Um, I hate that he gave that interview to Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee to me seems like one of those, and I don't watch the show, and I don't know, so this is an assumption. But he seems like one of them white boys that, when the cool black dude is around, oh, I'm all hip and we telling jokes or whatever. But like secretly behind the scenes, you probably crack on black folks. And I don't know that, man. He could be, whatever, a philanthropist for the black community. I don't know. But just I get that vibe. I get that vibe. And a lot of people who do watch sports TV said they can't stand Pat McAfee. So I think I might be right on track. But to me, LeBron has done so many things, like Lav said, that have calculated, that have been on point, especially for the black community. But he made a mistake with that. Why not? If I haven't really seen LeBron give sit down interviews throughout his whole career, other than like the shop, and that was like his show, him and Rich Paul, right? But I haven't seen you sit down and give an interview. So why not? Why wouldn't you say, okay, Stephen A., let's sit down and let's talk? Or why not go on Gilbert Arenas' show or Carmelo's show or one of the black or anybody black, hell, the Man Listen show. Shit.
Straight up.
Why not give a black newscast or podcast that love? Because we deserve the clicks, right? So I think LeBron made a mistake when it came to that. I can't say that he was necessarily wrong for confronting Stephen A. And I think Stephen A. is okay to say, hey, man, look, dude, I'm going to say what I want to say. I don't understand the whole, you wasn't at Kobe's funeral. And what's up about that? To me, that sounds like some bitch ass shit.
Well, I was going to say, honestly, the thing with it is, this is deep. This is just like the straw that broke the camel's back. It's clear that there's some kind of history between them, that they don't exchange pleasantries. They're not biggest fans of each other. So all we can go off of is what, you can speculate. People will be like, oh, it's because Stephen A. said LeBron is not the GOAT. He'll never be the GOAT and all that, And I don't know if that's what if that would. I don't know, but
I don't think LeBron's that petty.
That's what I say. I don't think he is, but going on Pat McAfee is a very petty thing. If you know anything about the sports media thing, even though they both work for ESPN, Pat McAfee and Stephen A. I'm not gonna say it's a competition, but they not best of friends, Well, they don't necessarily get along.
Probably competition between them because they do the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I heard McAfee. I've heard people talk. I really don't know the dude. I don't watch ESPN like that, but people have talked about how he's leapfrogged, because I haven't seen. He's been relatively new.
He's been there a few years, yeah.
But he was a punter or a long snapper in the NFL.
Yeah, punter.
But he's relatively new, and to be elevated to like this prime spot when there's been other people who have been, had better NFL careers. And, they may have been leapfrogged. So there may be some, hey, listen, he's a reverse DEI. You know what I mean? But how about this? Stephen A. really got his shot from punk ass Skip Bayless. And who people could talk about how he covered the Cowboys or whatever, but Skip Bayless created the whole anti-LeBron narrative and got rich off of it.
Which is another thing.
Stephen A. wrote those coattails.
You're right. Well, and LeBron has never confronted anybody else, which is weird. Why Stephen A? That's why I said there has to be more than what we see. Because Skip went at him harder every single day of his life.
But I think that's strategy, though, because had he responded to Skip, he would have gave Skip what he wanted. Skip would have just,
he did the same for Stephen A.
White girl 101. Oh, well, now you're attacking me and this all that old shit. So I think that was smart for LeBron to never engage, never even acknowledge that dude.
Yeah, but he could have still, like, why approach him at a basketball game? Like, time, place, all of that.
Yeah.
You rich people know where each other are. You know how to get a hold of
Exactly.
each other on the phone. You could have called that man and had a conversation with him. So you wanted to
Exactly.
have a public
It's
confrontation.
on site. It's on site.
Rich Paul been on,
Talked about my kid in the public. I'm gonna confront you in the public.
but Stephen A said I was just at All Star with you. I saw you at All Star, so it's not on site.
Mm.
It was very calculated. Stephen A said on his show, he's like, if you go back and look at it, LeBron confronted me, then looked up because he knew they was filming the camera. He knew the camera was there. I don't know. I didn't go back and look at it that
I
far,
didn't either.
but again, that's one reason why some people aren't going to put LeBron James as the GOAT, because they feel like he's very manufactured image. He's not quote unquote real.
I think it's the temper tantrums too. He's
People,
always crying about something.
there's people saying that he lies all the time about, like he might not respond immediately to something that happens, but then he'll respond 3 days later or 4 days later, and then the story will be like, oh, okay, whatever. So there's people that have been on him for that for years.
I don't know. I think that, and Lab, you correct me if I'm wrong. To my knowledge, there's never been an athlete who's had to deal with the amount of pressure and scrutiny that LeBron James had to deal with.
You mean outside of Jackie Robinson? Yeah, probably right.
Okay, so we
talk. No, I'm not trying to be funny.
Yeah.
I'm being dead serious because
Jackie Robinson dealing with racism,
Race.
Right,
and having to be a credit to his race.
Yeah.
And not react to the fucked up shit that they was going to do to him to try to get him to respond.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about coming from high school, even leading up into high school, having your games televised.
16.
Them even giving you the name King
James.
Yeah. How many other people have we seen the next Jordan? Kobe didn't even get that type of scrutiny.
No.
Kobe didn't get that, and he lived up to it. He made mistakes.
Surpassed it.
He was in Cleveland. He didn't speak out for Tamir Rice. Tamir Rice.
Yeah.
Hey, that was a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
My personal opinion. He's guarding his brand, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is he somewhat opportunistic when it comes to things that he wants to attach himself to? But who isn't though?
Right. No, that's the whole crux of it.
Brand, and his brand is worth way more than any of ours. Said he a billionaire, and we are much better off with LeBron, because at least LeBron gives back.
Yeah.
LeBron does shit for the community. So if he makes a mistake, I'm not gonna kill him for it. And I hate that we let this old white man create this agenda to tear this dude down. And now he don't even have to do anything. You got on my sports groups, it's cats pulling up obscure stats from Jordan and trying to compare it to Bron, and it's just ridiculous. And why can't we just appreciate the greatness that we've both been willing to see? I'm gonna tell you something. I was the biggest Kobe hater. Lab knows this. I didn't like how he snitched on Shaq. I hated it. I didn't respect it. And then unfortunately, when him and Gigi passed away and people were showing his highlights, I was like, God damn, bro, I missed out on greatness by saying like, I don't like this dude. And I just think that people are making a monumental mistake by handling LeBron like he did not. He plays on Lakers, he plays on a team like, I don't like LeBron, whatever. But all this constant trying to tear that dude down, man, I don't get it, bro.
No, I will say this. Like you said, for someone to be on the cover of Sports Illustrated, which at that time was like the #1 periodical, right? I don't think they have it anymore. But at 16, you know what I'm saying? And it's say the chosen one.
Yeah.
And he's, if you had told me in 2003 when he was coming out, these were going to be his stats, I would have said, there's no way. There's no way he can do that. And he's surpassed everything. So, yeah. Don't got no side, baby,
Right. Even I had to stop hating.
Man, I ain't gonna say that, but you know what I mean? The other people, no, there's no public infidelities or family issues, which some other goats there have been,
And you know that people have made different allegations about LeBron, and I'm not going to repeat them because I don't want to get them.
Right.
But here's my thing. Do you really think that someone who is that important to the Black community, that if they didn't have the opportunity to do so, they wouldn't try to tear him down?
Mm-hmm.
You know, he took his boys out the hood, gave them jobs, got them paid.
He was the blueprint for that.
Like, because LeBron, and I like Melo. I'm not trying to throw Melo under the bus, but LeBron empowered his boys,
mm-hmm.
and Melo had dudes that was enabling him. Now they took, because remember they was like a member in Carmelo's crew got caught with a pistol. They knew the deal. It was like, oh, that's my gun. Somebody in Carmelo's crew got caught with this or whatever. They knew, hey, he the bag. We got to protect it. You never heard any stories like that about LeBron. Only thing you heard about Pat Riley talking about, him and his posse or some shit like that. You notice how I was somewhat, almost low-key kind of up to the line racist when they talk about Bron. It's almost always like that.
Yeah.
I think that, like you said, once that trend started of where it was just like not even just okay to hate him, but commonly accepted to basically just hate on him and his skills and what he's accomplished. I think it just went from there. It was just too easy to just be like, you know what? Yeah, you're right, you're right. Like, without actually taking the time to be like, you know what? Yes, he does cry. And I used to hate when he used to do that shit with the goddamn chalk. But I'm like, but looking at the totality,
I liked it. I ain't gonna lie.
Love that shit.
I'm like, go sit down, start the game.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
He got it from Jordan, but yeah.
Hey,
the theatrics. But
KG,
again,
KG used to be chalk too.
Yeah.
See, but that's so random a reason to not like a basketball player. Like, that's not even like, that shouldn't even be in a mainstream conversation. That's just okay, that's probably not my type of dude. Not he's a terrible basketball player, or he can't be the GOAT because he does something over here that I don't like. His legacy overall as a man has far surpassed Jordan's. So if we're comparing, apples to oranges, I'm going to take LeBron in this one. I mean, like, obviously I grew up watching Jordan. My family's on the side of Jordan is the greatest. So I've always just rode those coattails, even though I don't know a single stat. All I know is Jordan played with the flu.
He pushed off on what was his name?
Byron Russell. Yeah, he pushed out. I was a push out for sure.
But
yeah.
I'm not gonna get caught up in that trap of diminishing Mike.
Exactly.
The whole Republicans buy sneakers too, and it come to find out that he may or may not have said that. We know that he didn't stand tall when it was time to help the students in North Carolina. He hasn't been as outspoken when it comes to racial politics, but that's not to say he hasn't done anything.
Right.
And I don't feel the need to diminish Jordan to elevate LeBron.
Yep.
I can appreciate both of them, and that's just what I choose to do. Like I was fortunate enough to be able to see greatness with LeBron and MJ and Magic and my favorite player, Kate. Like we've seen greatness.
Yeah.
And I'm just not going to fall into that because that's really what they want us to do. Like we always said, man, we're much stronger because that's the problem they have with the NBA right now. When they started saying, like, oh, they're linking up and this, that, and the other. When the players started saying, no, man, guess what? We the one we the straw that stirs this coffee. We gonna call the shots. People started having a problem with that. They started having a problem with that. What was the boy Donald Sterling when they caught him saying the racist shit, and the players was like, nah, dog, we ain't doing this. We playing on the protest. They don't like it when we organize and say, okay, we calling the shots. And I think that's the whole reason why they traded Luka. I think that's the reason why they traded Luka to the Lakers. Because Luka, this is my conspiracy theory. Y'all tell me if y'all agree. Luka was in line to get a massive contract. What was it,
Mhm.
Lab? Was it $250 million, something like that?
Yeah, so super max, whatever he was, whatever.
I'm
Yeah,
just
super max.
I'm just gonna say it was 250 million or whatever, right?
It was probably more than that. Yeah,
Probably more than that, but whatever. We're just gonna say whatever.
yeah,
But by them trading him to the Lakers, right? They screwed him
yeah.
out of that money. There's no way that he can make what he would have made had he
Yeah.
resigned with the Mavs. And you send him to LA where Bron is at, and Bron was like, "Hey man, shit, y'all gonna trade AD? I didn't even know. They didn't even tell me." So to me, that was the owners saying, "Hey, we taking back control of this. We're taking back control of this, and we'll do what we want to do. And we want to let y'all know that we run this show." I don't know what you think.
I mean,
I
they've
mean,
always done that.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I
They had been negotiating to where the players were having more power in terms of what was going on to the collective bargaining agreement. Yeah, there's always concessions made or whatever, but with the whole load management and all those different things,
yeah.
I think the owners was like, "Hey, look, bro, we can't keep having these Ben Simmons. You getting $100+ million and you played in 57 games.
Kawhi Leonard, yeah.
Kawhi,
Well, and if you're a business owner, I mean, it makes perfect sense though, because I know people that have bought tickets to go. NBA tickets aren't cheap. So you splurge for the family. You're like, okay, you know what? We're gonna go sit. We're gonna sit on the lower level. We're gonna do this. And then you get there, Kawhi not playing,
yeah,
injury management,
yeah.
Paul George not playing. I mean,
Joel
it's like
Embiid.
they don't exactly just low management. It's like wow. And so they probably were getting feedback from their fan base or their consumers that hey, we're not going to pay these prices if your players aren't playing.
You just got by
Right.
off the street like me and Lab do.
Right. What up,
Unless,
Felix?
unless the
Yeah.
motherfucker's name is Felix. Don't do that. Go back and listen to our show about Kobe, where we pay respect to Kobe. And we talked
Yeah.
about how me and Lab got ripped off in LA. But thing about it though is we bought tickets off the street in Houston. And you remember who we saw, Lab?
Yeah.
LeBron
LeBron. LeBron
James.
James.
We saw LeBron James. We bought him straight off the street and saw
Yeah.
LeBron, But yeah, I just think it was a power play because, like they said, they kept it quiet. They kept it quiet. Bron didn't know. They wasn't like Trump's people. But
it wasn't no group chat.
wasn't no group chat. Wasn't no group chat where they put it on Signal and added a news. What is going on?
Added Stephen A.
Tell us, what do you think about the new code?
What is going on, man? The ineptitude.
Ineptitude.
That is the best word for it.
Yeah. That's what we need to we need to find something with I or with the E. Or what? Definitely some ineptitude. Ineptitude starts with I, right?
Right. We need something. Definitely egregious and inept. Something.
Man, that's a good one. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because I was like, man, they couldn't have been that stupid. And then CNN dirty. CNN used AI to replay the conversation, so they was playing it in people's voices and shit.
I haven't seen that.
They were trying we didn't add any tone, we didn't do this, that, and the other, but literally they had different people, different AI voices reading the group chat because a lot of people ain't gonna read that shit. So you read it and you just y'all really sitting here on Signal, right? Something that's not secure. Because even if you say nothing on social media is secure, I'm not even using Signal. I guess I don't. What is it like? Is it a different group me or something like that? Maybe
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's probably like group me, Telegram, WhatsApp, something. I don't know.
Like a WhatsApp or whatever.
Yeah.
Y'all using this. And y'all been talking about how these Russian motherfuckers keep hacking our elections and all that stuff. And y'all can't use the the standard protocol to keep shit confidential.
You know what I'm
That's because they're
saying?
not really worried about it. They was just
No.
Oh, they
pretending to be
worried about
worried
it when
about
it's
it.
Hillary and her emails, though.
Oh, for sure.
For
Yeah.
sure. Hers.
For her, yeah.
This dude was given the time the bombs was dropped. And not only that, did y'all see did y'all read them? Did y'all see it?
I read
saw
some of
it.
them. I didn't read the
I
whole
didn't read all of
exchange.
it.
These motherfuckers talking about bombing in Yemen and using emojis like
Yeah, I
got
did.
emojis in the chat. I'm like,
Yeah.
what is going on, man?
These aren't the people that are making decisions for our nation right now have to be the least ever qualified, least ever have the least stable mindset and emotional intelligence of any people we've ever had in office.
It almost speaks to the terrible state of democracy as a whole anyway, that we could even get to this point. I'm like, perhaps, just perhaps, it's time for a complete overhaul. Maybe we shouldn't be still relying on a document from the 1800s,
1700s, but yeah.
1700s. Maybe it's time to,
Yeah.
move on into the whatever generation.
I think you're onto something.
Well, with that though is we fuck around, go back to being 3/5 of human and shit. If we allow these motherfuckers to edit, but that's it. You know what I saw? First of all, I still think they stole the election.
Oh, I do too. I do too.
No way they took every single swing state. No way. Absolutely.
Yeah.
No.
Not when you see these people in Pennsylvania, they had runoffs or special elections, and it was like a deep red. Trump literally just won by like 30 points, and they lost. The Democrat won that seat, and another one. I mean, it's no way, man. No way.
Elon definitely had it. And I saw something. Elon was on, was it Marine One or Air Force One? It was Elon, his mom, and his son. And I can't remember if it was Air Force One or Marine One. And it was like, hold on, this dude a billionaire. Why he flying on a presidential plane? Can he charter his own stuff? And then I wonder why he always got his kid with him. And then folks in the comments started saying that's his human shield. I was like, damn, that's some diabolical shit. You have got his son on his, on his shoulders and stuff, and all this whole shit. 1 out of 13. And they said, man, that's his shield. And I was like, damn, man, y'all folks be. I ain't that diabolical, man. So
yeah.
I'm gonna hope that that's not true.
Right. And even if it's not,
like that, it would not be though.
Even if it's not like physically like that, it could be to kind of help him become more relatable. And there are people that aren't going to approach him with a certain negativity or if his son is around.
Mm-hmm. I think he definitely uses his son for that, to try to make him seem like a real human instead of whatever he is, and then to kind of curb whatever type of real conversations people would have with him, but for that child being present all the time. So, but whether or not if somebody fired a bullet at him, if he's gonna sling the child like in front of him, I cannot even imagine.
He probably would. Like, we could make another one.
And we're not advocating. We're not advocating that the child gets hurt at all. But
no, we're just speaking to our lack of confidence in Elon's mental state and decision making.
Even if they tried, it'd be some old fake shit like the Trump one.
Catch up packets.
Ain't nothing wrong with that dude's ear, bro.
No.
Nothing wrong with that dude's ear. And I saw something on social media today where dude was like, he don't have like for somebody to shoot from 150. First of all, how they get up there and not get found out, right? But for somebody,
they knew about him. That's the thing.
For somebody to shoot that caliber of bullet and graze the ear, they said it would be like significant damage, even if it was just a graze. There's no way that it's just a like a little nick on his ear, like a little discoloration, and then all of a sudden you get shot, and it ain't just bedlam. you got the wherewithal to be like, oh yeah, fight. Man, that shit was staged. Everybody knew when it happened.
It was. I mean,
He is a reality TV character.
he is. You got to think his Secretary of Education is Linda McMahon, WWE. She set it up. It's scripted. It was scripted. You know what I mean? Just like when back in the day when Ric Flair used to have blood all over his head. You know, just like, come on, man.
You had the little capsule.
Little capsules, right? You know,
little capsule. They did it. Yeah.
He's like, don't worry, I got the strategy. Just hold a job for me.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Linda McMahon, they're trying to get rid of the Department of Education, and I think
them loans.
I said, if you don't exist anymore, then I don't owe you any money.
Man, a word.
Not that I was going to pay. Anyway.
Yeah, problem is some of us got kids in college, so we kind of need that FAFSA.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so
this child and this expensive school she done chose.
Yeah, well, you know, I was interested in that. You know, you guys are going through it right now with, you know, FAFSA season. Have you seen a noticeable difference? Because both of you have been through it before, you know, so.
Honestly,
I haven't seen anything.
I've been treating the FAFSA like I do my taxes last minute. So I literally just got the phone with my boy saying, we got to get this in. We got to go ahead and get it.
Just click through. Yeah. But also, I did see something today on the interwebs about what Michigan got rid of some of their scholarships.
Yeah, University of Michigan.
Yeah, so it's not going to impact them this semester, but starting going forward, it will. And so they said they're going to try to find them other funds. But it kind of made it seem like they had to do it because that's what the Trump administration is pushing on them.
Right.
So I don't know if they're pushing that narrative to save themselves from the Target backlash or if that's really the case. Because, I mean, they really don't have an obligation to go find other funds for the students. So if they do what they say they were going to do, then that will make me believe that they really didn't want to get rid of the scholarships. So.
I think there is a portion that they're so worried about losing federal funding because there are colleges that did say we're not going to do it, and they say, okay, we're going to pause your federal funding and all of that. And so they have to be smart about getting around it, ways around it. Mm-hmm. And so I don't know how that's going to work, but you know, I think we mentioned it before when we were talking about, you know, like Target getting rid of their DEI program, and you were mentioning that maybe they get rid of it, but they still do the same work that they were doing. Maybe these colleges do the same thing. I don't know.
Well, you know, the people that are in power right now, they anticipated that because I know when they were talking about, hey, listen, they're going to target you know, the racial scholarships, race-based scholarships, DEI, whatever you want to call it. They say, okay, well, we can still address the needs. We can just go off zip codes. We can do whatever. Mm-hmm. I saw where they was like, anything to try to circumvent it, we're going to come after that too. And I feel like some of these schools may have acquiesced because they was like, listen, we don't even want the heat. Mm-hmm. And I've talked to some people in higher education, you know, because of some projects that I'm working on. And they were just like, we really just don't know what we can do because we don't know how the blowback will be. We don't know if the federal government's going to come after us. And, you know, there's some people just like, we can't even talk to, you know, race-based organizations, the Black organizations, whatever. But I noticed that they're really only going after the Black organizations. Mm-hmm. They're really only going after the scholarships that impact Black children. Now, I could be wrong, but that's what
they want us to take the jobs.
That's the only thing that I see.
Yeah.
See, they're trying to get rid of all of the illegal aliens, i.e. the Hispanics, and then move us into those jobs. So the fewer college degrees we have, the more likely we will be to start taking the jobs that we have been previously not taking because, you know, we become like, I think they said Black women are the most educated women. Some studies say that. I don't know if that's increasing wise per population wise or whatever, but I know they be out there getting the degrees and stuff. And if they can shift that trend the other direction, then you're going to be able, it's going to be it's already hard to find a job with just a bachelor's degree now. So imagine not even having a bachelor's degree in a world where a master's degree is like the minimum now.
Yeah. It's, I think that number one is that they don't believe that we could ever be smarter than them ever. So they think that anything that we earn has been given to us and it's an entitlement when honestly they're the ones who have to cheat, steal, lie in order to just compete. And really, this just backs up that they don't want to compete. They don't want to compete. They want to cover their mediocrity, like this motherfucker Pete Hegseth using damn Signal, something that you probably should just leave for your side piece, communication with your side piece, but you talk about national national security national security on Signal, and it's just obvious that you're the DEI hire.
Right.
If we want to say DEI in a negative way, because like they used to say, oh, it's an affirmative action hire. And they would say that to try to diminish or minimize our accomplishments. No, actually, that's you. That's you and how you are able to get ahead. And I don't know, man. You think they're gonna get rid of Hexa? Trump ain't gonna get rid of him.
That's just what they was probably like, oops. On to the next mistake.
Exactly. For white supremacy 101. So, when they first respond to it, they try to joke about it, right? That's what white supremacists do. They'll try to joke about it and try to like infuriate you, try to antagonize you. He's like, well, you're not taking this seriously. And then they'll try to attack you, right? The dude, the journalist, he's a scumbag. He's a real
right. They attacked him first, quick.
You the one that he didn't ask to be added to the chat.
And he took himself out the chat. You know what I mean?
I would have never did that.
I wouldn't have either.
Those people that said I would have been in that chat to the end of this presidency.
Hey, they wouldn't have known about me being in the chat yet. I still would have been in there finally getting info, man. Yeah.
They would have thought I was a damn prophet. Them news stories would have had all the information.
Yeah. That's crazy. But I don't know, man. I think that just going back to the beginning, man, Stephen A. LeBron need y'all to tighten it up, man. I need y'all to wrap this up by the end of the week.
Yeah, at this point, yeah, it's just, Steve, this is the thing I will say. And that was LeBron's one and only interview. Stephen A. Smith has been on talking every chance he can get about this situation. Yeah. And it just shows the whole dynamic that, yeah, LeBron is the power in the dynamic, and so Stephen A needs him a lot more than he needs Stephen A. And that's another part. He did throw a bone to Stephen A. Stephen A had content for hours and hours. I mean, seriously. So
like, what else were you supposed to talk about on your show today that you just scrapped?
It was a boon for him. So
yeah. So anyway, man, I think we talked about it enough. Make sure y'all go to our Facebook and our Instagram at manlistenshow. Go to the link in our bio, buy a t-shirt, buy a hoodie. I know it's starting to get warm, but you can still buy a hoodie. Get one of our books. Rika got a bunch of them. Go ahead and support the crew. And we'll holler you next time. Shout out to C.
Peace. Hey, when the Lakers win because of Bronny, LeBron will have 6 rings too.